You're jacked into Buffy's Angels. I'm Joss Boy number one, D Train, Daniel Ehrenberg. Over there's Joss Boy number two, L.A. Knight Adair. What's going on, buddy?
I'm a David Greenwald
Oh God,
guy. You
you
did it
asked
last
me to
episode
say.
too.
I
I've given up
know.
trying.
It's just but it's a
I
me
know.
thing. It's not a you thing. I say this to
It's
people all
fine.
the
I
time.
understand.
Yeah. All right. All right. Anyway, sorry about that. What were you saying?
I'm a David Greenwald guy.
Oh, I'm a Tim Minear guy.
No, you're Joss
Oh,
boy. I'm a
oh,
David
no,
boy.
you're a Joss boy too. Get out of here.
All
All
right, if
right.
you say so.
Yeah. Listen, we're covering two episodes this week. Angel is Billy, and Buffy is all the way. And then next week is a very big week, and we'll have
Featuring
Shut Up
Tim.
Tim on. Yeah,
I didn't know if you remember that or not.
I did. Yeah,
I
I'm
remember
very
the
well
episode title.
aware. The Buffy one?
Yeah, because when Tim mentioned it, or you mentioned it, or somebody mentioned it,
Once More with Feeling.
right?
Yeah, that's next week. That'll be a biggie.
I assume that's like a drama.
What?
I think of Once More with Feeling like a play.
How? Okay.
Is that what you say like when you're directing
I get, yeah, I think it's a
actors? Like once
stage.
more
I
with
think it's a
Feeling.
stage thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. Angel aired October 29th, 2001.
Yeah, these are Halloween episodes.
These are Halloween episodes. In fact, Buffy aired opposite the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. We got you know what happened over the weekend?
No clue.
The Patriot Act was passed.
Tell me what that entails.
All right. Now, the Patriot Act was very big after 9/11. George W. Bush and Dick Cheney pushed it through, as a way. It's like, it's going to help us look for terrorists. But really, it was just a way to spy on Americans. It gave the government permission to read private emails and listen to private phone conversations.
But now just having an iPhone, they know everything about you that way.
I know. And
It's
we're
like
just
the same
fine with
thing.
it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But like, what
Yeah.
would you do? There's no all other alternative. It's just the way of life now. Like you can't just like protest. Like I'm not gonna have a phone because they'll spy on me. Kind of have to.
It's true. I fought it for a long time. I didn't have a phone yet at this time in my life. I,
Oh,
I
like
didn't get a
yeah.
I got a cell phone when I was a freshman in college. It was because my mom forced me. She was
Yeah,
like, "I
gotta
need
have
to
a
be
way to
in
get in.
touch with you."
Of course.
Yeah.
And you
All
hated
right.
it? That's crazy. That's like one
Yeah,
of
I
the
was.
cool
I
things of
was.
growing up. You're like, can't wait to get a phone
I never wanted a phone. Well,
or a
I'm like
car.
weird
You're
that.
weird.
Yeah, I know. But and even so, I kept a flip phone with like no special features for like years.
Yeah.
Like I got an Android. That was my first like smartphone. And I got that when I was like 24 or something like that.
I felt
I
like
loved my flip phone. The flip phone had T9
Mhm.
texting. Do you remember T9?
Yeah.
And I got so good at that. And I genuinely don't think I'm as good a texter with like the regular keyboard.
That's the dumbest thing I've
Like
ever heard.
I was a better texter as a T9 user than I am now.
If you say so. That's crazy.
I used to be able to do it so fast.
Yeah. You can do
Uh,
it like in your pocket. Don't even have to look at it.
yes, yeah, like not even joking. I was
Yeah.
so
You're
good
like
at
A
it.
B C. Yeah.
Yeah.
D E. Yeah.
All right. The number one song in America was Family Affair by Mary J. Blige. Let's get it crunkulating,
Oh
percolating.
yeah.
Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. What a song. Huge hit at the time. Uh, Mary J. And Mary J. I think we thought was dead. Like we thought she'd had her time, but then she came back with this one. It was like, Mary, you reinvented yourself. Great job.
Yeah. And she's still going today.
She is. She's got reality shows and stuff.
I think
Big
she was in
week
a
for
movie.
movies. Was she?
Yeah. Mudbound. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. She was getting a little Oscar buzz for that.
Yeah, that was big.
All right, big week for movies. The number one movie in America, K-Pax.
Okay.
You familiar with K-Pax?
No.
Really?
No.
That was like a big movie at the time. I owned it on VHS. But to be fair, I bought it sight unseen and it was terrible. Um, and it's about Kevin Spacey. He's the lead. He is an alien, or is he?
Hmm.
Like it's like he's a guy in a mental hospital who claims to be an alien, and then it's like maybe he's really an alien
So why is he in the mental hospital then?
because we treat different people poorly.
But he's telling the truth.
Well, we don't know if he's telling the
We're the cra
truth.
We belong in the mental
How do we?
hospital for
How
not
do
believing
we?
him.
Yeah, but how do we prove whether he's telling the truth or not?
Yeah,
We
I
have no
guess that
way
we'll
of
find out in the movie.
communicating with his own planet. Yeah, check out K-Pact, gang.
I see Jeff
Um,
Bridges is also in it.
yeah, Jeff Bridges plays like his
He was an alien
therapist.
in Starman. Remember
He
that one?
sure was, yeah.
That's
And
a
they're
good
kind
one.
of a similar alien, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right. At number two at the box office, debuting at number two, 13 Ghosts.
Oh wow, we just mentioned that when we talked about the Nick Cage ghost movies. I think,
That's
by the way,
right.
I was thinking of The Wicker Man. I think that was what I was thinking of. I think I was just
Okay.
thinking of The Wicker Man.
Well, 13 Ghosts is a crazy movie. It's got a wild cast. Matthew Lillard, you know, Shannon Elizabeth, Tony Shalhoub. I want to say, oh no, never mind. I was gonna say Spike was in it, but I was thinking The Haunting of Hill House. Um,
Spike. Which Spike?
yeah, James Marsters.
Oh, that's Spike.
Yeah, we're doing a Buffy podcast right now.
Right. I was like Spike Lee, Spike Jones. Those are the two
No,
Spikes I thought of first.
but anyway, 13 Ghosts felt like a big deal at the time, but no one really talks about it anymore. But
I like that one
also,
because the 13 is in the title 13,
that's
right?
right. That's right. It's
That's like
spelled.
seven.
It is, yeah. It's spelled THIR13EN.
That's amazing.
Yeah. The debuting at number 10 at the box office, I guess it didn't do very well, was Bones. I'm not
Really?
talking about David Boreanaz's classic show. I'm talking about the Snoop Dogg horror film.
That's right.
Now,
With
here's the problem with
Pam Grier.
Bones. Here's the problem with Bones. It's promoted as a Snoop Dogg horror movie. So you're like, that's great. I want to watch that, obviously, right?
Hmm.
But then Snoop Dogg doesn't show up for like an hour.
Really?
And the poster of that movie was just him. It was like, that's how it was presented. Like, this is Snoop Dogg's Bones. But it takes a while for him to show up. It's very annoying. All right. Debuting at number 11
Dog,
on
the
the.
dog was chasing his bones
Good
because he's a
stuff.
dog.
Good
He's after
stuff.
the bone.
The dog father. Number 11, debuting at number 11 was On the Line, which was an in sync movie.
Oh.
But it was narrative. It starred Lance Bass. It was a rom-com with Lance Bass where he's pretending to be a straight man. And here's what happens. He's a Chicago guy. Meets a girl on the line, which is the train, the L line.
Okay.
And that's Emmanuel Shrieky. You remember her?
Maybe. I mean, if I look
All
her
right.
up.
All right. You're very unhelpful this episode.
No, she is.
You're fine. You're fine. So Lance Bass meets Emmanuel Shrieky on the subway. They have the greatest convo, Logan. They have such incredible chem. And then he wimps out, doesn't ask her out,
Oh.
Logan. All right, so here's what he does. He's looking for her. He puts up posters all around town. Are you this girl that I met on the subway? I love you. Find me. And eventually it works out.
Oh, it all worked out. Like
Yeah.
serendipity.
But one of the fun parts of that movie is Lance Bass has like a fat friend who's like the jokester. He's a real yuckster in the movie, and
Mhm.
that's Joey Fatone.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So it had 2/5 of Instinct starring in that film.
So it's like one of those early Friday the 13th. There's always like the fat jokester around.
Yeah.
By the way,
It's sort of like from Justin to Kelly. Like they're trying to turn like pop stars into actors.
right. Emmanuel Shrieky, she was in the OC.
She sure was. Yeah. She who'd she play?
A character named Jody. I think she was one of Ryan's love interests for like a couple episodes. She's in 2 episodes, The X Factor and The Accomplice in
Oh
season
no, no, no,
two.
no. You know who she is? She's remember when Seth finds out that Olivia Wilde's ex is a lady.
Oh, this is her.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, totally, totally.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's
Um
what I know her from. Just that.
and then debuting outside the top 10 on the indie charts, we got Life as a House with if you want to see a scene of Hayden Christensen trying to hang himself, check out that movie.
Okay.
Donnie Darko,
Yeah, that's
which
fun.
was a big deal at the
We
time.
can
My
cover it. S
generation loves
Darko,
that film.
right?
That's true. And another film we
You ever
could
see
cover.
that?
No, I never have. Another film we could cover. Ginger Snaps.
Oh shit.
Yeah, all came out on this weekend. What a weekend for horror nerds! Like,
Yeah, seriously. Like
if I told
5
a horror
movies.
nerd that 13 Ghosts, Bones, Donnie Darko, and Ginger Snaps came out on the same weekend, I don't know if they believe me.
Yeah, that's I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. All right. Uh, let's get into Angel. This is episode 50 of
Really?
Angel. Yeah,
Pretty big.
pretty big. What a milestone. It is co-written by Tim Minear and Jeffrey Bell, my good friend Tim Minear, and Jeffrey Bell, who is I told you he's like new. His first episode was That Vision Thing. This is his second one, but he's gonna go on and be the showrunner for season 4 and 5.
Okay.
Um,
What's that vision thing again?
that's the one where he rescues Billy from the thing.
Oh, that was early this season.
Yeah, the one with Cal Penn.
Right, right, right. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So great to see these guys working together. Two angel luminaries. Tim Minear not having the best week this week because I read that somebody died on the set of 911.
Oh shit, like currently. Damn.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Um
How do we know?
yeah, it was like he worked a 14-hour day and then like fell asleep on the way home
Oh my god,
and
that is
crashed his car.
awful.
Yeah, so Tim Minear is catching some blame. Working his people too hard.
Honestly, like deservedly. So that's
No,
like my mind is
agreed.
kind of blown right now.
Can't
That's crazy.
fucking you can't risk people's lives for light entertainment.
He fell
Um,
asleep. Oh wow, taking shots. Calling it light entertainment.
it is
Um,
light entertainment. I love that show, but it's certainly not fucking art.
that's
Um,
actually crazy. He worked so much, fell asleep on his way home, died in a car crash.
yeah,
He didn't kill anybody else, did he?
no.
Yeah. Damn.
All right, and our director here is David Grossman, who is really more of a Buffy guy. His last episode of Angel was the Shroud of Ramon last year, and the but he just did the 2-part premiere to bargaining parts 1 and 2 for Buffy.
Okay. Shroud of
Um,
Ramo. That's an anonymous episode. I remember
that
that
is not a classic. Yeah,
one.
it's the one where like remember Angel pretends to be like a lounge lizard from Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Like
Gotcha.
heist the thing. All right. Let's get into it. Let's hear your notes on Billy.
Yeah. Billy. Um, so Cordelia
Oh, one other
and
fun fact. I'm so sorry.
Mhm.
Um, not only did Tim Minear have a bad week this week, but he also had a bad week while he was writing this episode. Apparently, got a call in the middle of writing this episode. Hey, 9/11's happening right now.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
He said, I don't care. I'm focusing on Billy.
Yeah, and then he went back and kept writing the episode, and I wonder whether it was this dark because of that.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
At
I'm
what
in a
point did he
weird
get the
mood.
call?
Yeah. Anyway, let's hear your notes now.
So Cordelia is learning how to sword fight, kind of. We haven't really seen a lot of this until now, I don't think.
Yeah, no, Angel is training her in the
Arts of sword
weaponry.
fighting.
Yeah,
And she says at one point, like, I might have to fight you one day with a sword.
which is pretty fair. He's always warning people about that.
Yeah, true. Yeah, like Wesley, you got to kill me one day, stuff like that. Or
Mhm.
gun. I think he said at the gun, didn't he? Whatever
He
episode
did
that was.
that old gang of mine, I believe.
Yeah, at the end, he's like, you might have to kill me one day. So then we go Wolfram and Hart
Which was
time.
also written by Tim Minear. This is apparently the thing Tim Minear likes to talk about.
Interesting. All right, I like that. Let's keep track of that.
Mm-hmm.
So we go Yeah, Wolfram and Hart. Lila's there. Billy's there. There's like a whole thing where Billy, like, he went out for a walk, but he's been gone for a few days, and Gavin found him or something. I don't know what was
Right.
going on. But then the big congressman shows up, and apparently he's his uncle, Billy's uncle. But it's like a big thing where he has a lot of people in his thing. I don't know what's going on there.
Well,
But
it's like they're sort of like a Kennedy's kind of a family.
yeah, we meet another guy later, uh,
Mm.
Dylan, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, but Gavin throws Lila through the big glass cap, glass, whatever you call those things,
Shelves.
shelves.
I
Exactly.
I do think fucking uh what's his Daniel Day Kim is pretty goddamn menacing in this
Menacing.
scene.
Yeah.
Like scary.
He is good. What's his role on Lost? Is he just a nice guy over there?
Well, no, actually. I mean, he's a Korean fella, and he's committed murder for his father-in-law, and he's like a little bit mean to his son at first because he's sort of traditional, but he turns out to be a good guy.
Wait, so are there two father-son duos? Doesn't that guy Saeed have a son?
No, you're
Did I
thinking of
make that up?
Michael. Michael has a son, but no, this isn't flashback. We find out that like son's
Oh,
father was like an evil businessman guy, and Jin was like one of his fixers.
well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Uh, all right. So yeah, but that happens. So Lila gets all fucked up in that scene, and then we go to the credits. And then are we at Wesley's place playing video
But,
games? Right. Well, oh yeah, because Wesley invited everybody, and
oh,
Cordelia's
that's
like,
right.
you could have just
Yeah.
invited Fred. Like, you didn't have to
Right.
invite all of us. You know.
Yeah.
I like all of he does a really good job. This what's Wesley's actor name?
Alexis Denisov.
He does a good
Yeah, this
job.
this is a great episode for Alexis Denisov. I think he's
I
probably the
agree.
MVP.
Yeah, probably a lot of great looks at Fred, and his dark turn, of course,
The
later in the
dark
episode.
turn, he's really too good at. He's
Too good
scary
at it.
too.
It's really
Yeah.
good. It's amazing. Yeah. And yeah, so that's what happened there. And so Cordelia finally has a vision. This hasn't happened since that episode, right? With Cal Penn, but it happens here. But it's like a weird vision where it happened in the past. It already has
Right.
happened. So don't know what's up with that. But so we go to the crime scene, and we're looking at some photos, and Angel sees that like Billy was in a photo or something. He's like, that's the
Right.
guy that I let out.
So that's why they're showing us this vision, because this shit's our fault.
See what that is. So Angel will go. This was pretty cool. Where we go, Angel visits Lila, and Lila, she's all fucked up from what happened, but she's standing in the shadows, and then she
Yeah.
steps out. I like that moment. Pretty cool. And she's getting fucked up. She not only is her face fucked up, but she's getting drunk, drinking some
Mm-hmm.
alcohol. What a great night. Actually, having a terrible night. And Lila, she basically so Angel has it messed up, right? Because he like Billy messed you up. He doesn't understand that Gavin's the one that did that. Because Lila
Yeah.
tells him like I don't want you going after Billy still. Like,
Right.
stay
Right.
away from him, bro. And
But I
yeah,
mean, I think she understands that it's Billy's fault that Gavin did that. It's just that she wants to still protect Billy as a client, because first and foremost, she's a Wolfram and Hart lawyer.
right. And no mention of when she made out with Angel last episode. None, they don't talk about that here.
They do though. Like she's really on guard with Angel here, and she says like the one person I know who actually wants to kill me. Like I do think like she won't let him in at this point. By the way, this scene is pinch written by Joss Whedon, uncredited.
Oh, interesting. Only
Mhm.
that scene.
And the scene where Cordelia comes to Lila's apartment.
Oh, all right. So he really likes Lila, I guess. But this was crazy. We go to that congressman's the Blim estate, I think is what they
Yeah,
say.
I loved this scene. First of all, it looks really good. Like the scene where he's like running across the front lawn, like of this mansion. Like it looks like a fucking big budget movie.
Yeah, I actually do agree with you. When he jumped over the gate, I thought it looked pretty cool. I didn't like the little full sound. I
Fair
thought
enough.
that made it lame, but the jump itself, I was like, oh my god, that looked cool. But the goofy little whooshing sound effects was I was like, all right, that's a little silly. But yeah, I remember being impressed too. So good job. And so there are like some cops. We see this is where we see Billy's first the first case of him using his powers, where he touches a cop, and the
That's
cop on
right.
the way home is like riding with a woman cop in the car, and he's like, "You suck, you lady," and he like, does he kill her in the car and then they crash? I don't know.
You suck, you lady.
Well, that's the thing. They all turn very misogynistic when
I
they.
thought the misogynistic dialogue in this episode was so fucking realistic, though. Like it really, like the talking points that
Mine was
they're
good.
doing are like it feels like shit Andrew Tate nerds are still spouting today.
Yeah, no, especially all the Wesley stuff. Like I was pretty blown away. I was like, is this the writing or the acting making this so good? I was like,
I
this
think it's
is
a
amazing stuff.
combination though, because like some of the stuff he says, like walking around in these provocative little dresses and stuff, we can't control ourselves. And it's like, God, that's the way dudes talk now.
Yeah.
Like misogyny is scary. Like dudes that get really caught up in that are like the scariest dudes.
Honestly, you're actually right about that.
Yeah.
So back to the hotel. Fred apparently was listening. She hears on the police scanner that there was an accident. I guess she was observing police scanners. I don't know. But so then we go to the crime scene, and Angel finds some blood on the walls, and he realizes this isn't human blood. So we got to find out what his whole thing is about. And Wesley takes some of the blood off the walls. Later, we realize the blood is what fucks you up. Right. So that was a bad idea from him. And then we go back to the hotel. Cordelia is leaving because she's like, I gotta fucking stop this from happening again. So she takes some weapons, right? And she heads off. And Fred, there's a moment with Fred where later she tells Wesley, and that's like the big moment.
Right.
So yeah, so Wesley shows up. I loved this part here. This was very cute here, where Wesley's like, I have the blood, and before he even tells Fred what he needs, Fred already knows that he needs the little slides for the microscope.
Yeah, that's sweet.
That was a nice little moment there. And so Cordelia shows up till I love this. We get a little Lindsay shout out. Do you like that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And this is again Joss.
Oh, Josh, yeah, Josh did this. So Josh
Yeah.
giving us a Lindsay shout out. And we talk about
Yeah, like
uh,
I'm not Lindsay McDonald. I don't switch sides every 5 seconds. Like I'm on Wolfram and Hart's side.
yeah, I didn't even remember the next sentence she said. I was just like, Lindsay. Oh my God, Lindsay. Oh, holy shit. Where's he at? And you said he's coming back with long hair, didn't you?
At some point.
So no short hair. I like short hair, Lindsay. That was cool. He was only in 3 episodes or something though. But anyway, I thought Cordelia had a long monologue. Didn't know what it was about, but I wrote Cordelia monologues.
Fair
She
enough.
just talked for like a minute straight.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then a taxi. There was like a taxi driver who killed one of his customers because she was a annoying lady. That's what you do.
Yeah, and there are like two taxi drivers having this conversation. They haven't been touched by Billy. Like they are just
Yeah, they're just
complaining
like that
about
bitch.
female like customers. Yeah, it's I don't know. Like I feel like this episode seems to understand a lot about misogyny, and I don't know who to credit for that, but it's sort of an interesting mirror to look into, like as a dude.
It's
Like I
interesting
mean,
that
it's not like
Joss. Go ahead.
yeah, no, no. It is interesting that Joss is so involved in this episode because
Yeah.
I mean he's a guy who's been me too'd, but like he's a guy that like used his position of power in weird ways. Like I do think that like Joss Whedon all through the making of Buffy considered himself like a staunch feminist. And
Yeah.
like it probably bums him out really bad that like his legacy now is that he was like a dick to women.
I bet it bums a lot of other people out too.
Yeah.
You can't really complain about it. But I
No,
understand.
I'm not saying he can, but like I bet you in his head he does a lot.
Oh yeah, whenever like the talk of him being like so like the next generation, like a voice for he just probably felt like so cool, and then it all came
Yeah.
crashing down. He was like, "Oh shit." So,
Hmm.
so yeah, so we meet a guy Dylan. You like Dylan?
Yeah, because this is Christopher Palaha, this actor.
Okay.
All right, he becomes a pretty big deal. He's this is his first TV work ever. This episode of Angel, but he goes on to have an arc in Mad Men, and he's really good on that show. And then after that, they started putting him in a lot of stuff that he would be like the lead of a show, but like none of the shows lasted longer than a season or two. But like they really tried with this guy for a while. One of the shows was Life Unexpected, which I watched every episode of. He was fucking great on that show. He was the MVP of that whole series, and I'm not joking. And then he was on this show Backstrom with Rainn Wilson. They were solving crimes together, and he's
in Jurassic World.
Yeah, he shows up in movies. I remember he had like a small but crucial role in Wonder Woman 1984.
I never saw that one.
Yeah.
Heard it was.
But yeah, he's in what, Jurassic World 3, right?
Dominion, yeah, the worst one,
Yeah.
the worst Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah. But anyway, he's like a, he's not a major actor, but like for someone who pays attention to television, I guess he's pretty major.
Yeah, I never heard of him before, but I did enjoy him here. And maybe if I saw
Yeah.
Jurassic World again, which I will never do, maybe I'd like him.
Same.
Guess the runtime for that.
218.
227.
Ugh.
I think we watched that the same week as Lightyear. That was like the worst.
That
week
was
we ever
the
did.
worst. That was so bad.
We might have done like
Yeah.
a TV show too. Like
Jurassic World Dominion, by the way, better than Lightyear.
Oh yeah, it is better than Lightyear for sure.
Yeah.
MVP, you remember who our MVP was? I believe it was Bryce Dallas Howard.
I don't
remember her
that,
being pretty.
but I remember her being okay in that too.
Anyway, I like this part where speaking of saliva, where's Cordelia?
What the fuck did that mean?
I think it was just misogyny. He was thinking about like her lips.
I guess, but it was so strange.
Right.
Yeah,
that's the turning point, because she's even like, what are you talking about? Sleep.
Right.
Saliva. What does that mean? And yeah, he says he starts going in on her. I like it because he says, lie to me again and we're gonna have a problem. Then we go to a commercial break.
Yeah, I read that Minear and Jeffrey Bell originally had her getting attacked by Wesley at the commercial break, and Whedon was like, save it for a little while, like make him more menacing, and so they came up with going to the commercial break on lie to me again and we're gonna have a problem.
I loved that choice. I thought, because I even wrote it down. I thought it was so good. Whose idea? Yeah. Joss's idea to
that was Joss's idea. Yeah,
that's why he's the guy. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Great job. And yeah, he says no more of these provocative little outfits. And he slaps her. So yeah, but it really plays out.
I hate when he slaps her. You really feel bad for Fred's taking so much shit.
he tells a really funny joke here, though. He says, what do you tell a woman with two black eyes? Nothing you haven't already told her twice.
You like that?
No, of course not. But I thought it'd be funny to play it up.
You know what I always think the harshest line of this episode is, though? It's a while later. He's like looking for Fred upstairs, and he goes, "Do you want to hear a theory I've come up with? It's about how stupid you are."
Oh, like, man.
Oh, my God. Jesus, Wesley.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. So then Angel shows up to Dylan's place. He's like, hey, I've tracked you to this location. Help me out or whatever. And Dylan apparently sent Cordelia to the airport because that's where Billy was going. So we have a big thing there. And then, so we go back to the hotel.
I like his explanation. Like, we all know how to deal with Billy. Like, don't leave him alone with your girlfriend. If you have to like hand him something, you put it on the table, let him grab it.
It's like a Mogwai.
Yeah,
feed him after midnight.
It's true. Like they know he's a fucking menace, and they just know like workarounds for it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. This was like The Shining, right?
Basically. Oh yeah. I thought a lot about Shelley Duvall.
Me too. Yeah, this is recording this the week Shelley Duvall passed away, like a couple days ago.
Yeah,
maybe it might have been yesterday. That was very sad. And I watched this episode. I was like, oh shit, yeah. So yeah, and so we go into room 520, not a Shining reference, but 520. I don't know what that's about. And so Fred's hiding under the bed, and then Wesley finds her, and Fred stabs him and runs off. I don't know what she stabbed him with. Something. I don't know. But then we go to the airport. This is all like cross-cut together. I don't know the exact order of how this all takes place. But Cordelia finds Billy, and she like talks to him and then tases him in the balls. the testicles, if you want to be, uh, I don't know. And then she has a crossbow. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. She's ready to fucking commit murder here, but
And
she
then
doesn't get a
Angel
chance
shows
to.
up.
Angel saves her here, and I was like, I didn't remember where this episode ended up, and I was like, oh, that kind of sucks that like in this episode all about misogyny, like they have like a dude saving,
Oh, you forgot.
and then like Lila shows up and shoots him, and I was like, that fucking rules.
Do you know what I thought of when Lila showed up and shot him?
What?
What you say?
Oh, no, that you always meant well.
That was my
This,
first reaction.
this whole scene reminded me of the end of Dog Day Afternoon.
Dog Day Afternoon?
Yeah, that whole movie, like it finishes up on a tarmac like this.
Dog Day, the Al Pacino movie?
Yeah,
He gets out and runs to they get to a tarmac.
yeah, like the cops are
Oh,
like,
in the car.
yes, yeah.
Okay, well, this isn't in a car, but that one ends in a crazy stand. Yeah, they're like in the car at their. That's crazy. Yeah, damn, I want to watch that movie right now. That's actually that's like a stunning moment at the end of the movie. You're like,
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
god, it's fucking wild. That's a good call. So I don't know. Fred, she runs into Gunn at one point in the hotel, and then Gunn realizes like he also handled the blood, so she's like, oh no, Gunn. And but he says he wants her to knock him out. He gives her a thing and says, "Hey, knock me out with this thing." So that was good.
Right, right.
And
A
Wesley,
cable leg.
yeah, yeah, no, he even
Because I
says like,
always remember her say, I always remember him saying like, "Give me the damn table leg."
yeah, I love God. He's awesome.
Yeah.
I thought for sure we were gonna get here's Wesley, something like that.
I
But
would
we
love
because he
it.
starts chopping down the door, and he's doing it with an axe, and I was like, are we really gonna? But we don't. And I want to kind of that might have been a Joss thing. Like now that we've said like Joss added some restraint to the episode, like let things
Mhm.
play. They like who wrote it, Minear, whoever you
Minear
said.
and Jeffrey Bell
They
together.
might have had a line like that, and he said, "No, we can't do that." I
Yeah, we
could
don't
see
need
that
that
happening.
shit.
But
Maybe.
so Wesley he realizes like that Fred likes dark places, so he opens this wardrobe thing. That was a cool shot of her in the mirror. I liked that
Yeah, I liked that too.
because
Very
you
cool.
like that's like a horror shot, but it's like the sweet girl that he's like trying to kill. She's in the horror shot. I thought that was
And
pretty cool.
and she'd set up like a Home Alone trap.
Yeah, fire extinguisher comes and knocks him through the
Mm-hmm.
floor. Very fun. She's like, yeah, Fred McAllister. And so yeah, and then that's basically the end. We go to Cordelia and Angel. They're doing their sword stuff again.
Right.
He talks basically how she's like, why didn't that take you over? And he says like he never ever did anything out of anger. It was all out of like passion
Well,
and
yeah, he
need.
says like as a vampire, like that's just always there, you know. So like it
I didn't really get it, but whatever.
no, Billy, like the touch, like recalls some sort of like primal misogynistic part of you up to the surface. And he said, like, as a vampire, that's just part of you. And you have to contain it. Like, so he's like, he knows how to contain that.
Yeah, I guess it's fine. And then so Fred visits Wesley. They have a nice talk. She's been leaving him some voicemails, but he hasn't really returned them, I guess. But then
He's great in this scene too, Denisoff, I think.
he apologizes basically, and then
But he feels so broken.
yeah, it's great. He shuts the door and then he's crying. She hears him crying. Is that what it is?
Just the idea that that can exist in him at all. Like, even if it took like Billy to bring it out, like the fact that he was able to say those things and do those things, like, really freaks him out.
I don't even hold it against him at all.
I don't either. And I don't think Fred does either. Although it is sort of a bummer because, like, Wesley's into Fred at this point on a romantic level. And I feel like even if it's not his fault, it's probably going to be real difficult to get past this,
Yeah,
you know, and like convince her to like want to like date you.
I don't know. I really didn't see much problem with it, but they're clearly leading into it like it is a big deal, so it is going to be a big deal. So, where are we going? 4 this episode? I'd guess it's between 3
Yeah.
and a 4. I'd go 4.
I don't, I love this episode.
Love it.
I think this is great stuff. I
Is
think
it better
it's
than Fredless?
yeah, I think it's the best of the season so far. I think it's a pretty clear four.
I think I might go just right. I think I'm gonna do 13th place between Fredless and Redefinition. So I'd have it second this season.
It's better than both those. Where do I have what's it 12 or whatever?
Fredless. Below
All right.
Fredless is Blind Date.
No,
Or
go
you'd have it
up.
above Fredless, you said. So above it, Guys Will Be Guys, another great Wesley episode when he gets a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Dead End, Tu Shenshu in LA, Sanctuary, The Trial, Epiphany. Now we're like way up. Reunion, Dear Boy, Darla,
All
Five
right. After reunion.
Reunion Epiphany, Reunion Billy Epiphany.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So you have it 6 and I have it 13.
Yeah. I think this one's pretty spectacular. It aged better than I was expecting it to. And I mean, everything is just spooky. Like Billy's a really good villain. Like it's almost a bummer that he dies at the end of the episode because like I wouldn't mind doing an arc with him.
Sure, we didn't
But
mention his death.
the shit with Wesley and Gunn is like super fucking scary. Like that horror stuff with Fred is really effective. Angel's got some awesome like hero moments in this. Like the idea that Lila's the hero is really interesting and unique. Like this is a really good episode.
Yeah, you're right. Lila coming out of the shadows is cool. Gavin's like
Yeah.
turned into a real like bad guys was kind of
Yeah.
crazy. Um, you're right. We're that's like a we're in that's like a tier up in it's up in that tier.
Yeah.
I feel similarly. So, oh, I was gonna say comments, but we do Buffy first, then we'll do
Yeah, let's
comments, don't
talk
we?
about Buffy. Buffy airs the next night, October 30th, 2001. Hey, we didn't do MVP, LVP.
Yeah, that's what I was forgetting. I was like, we're clearly forgetting something.
Wesley's MVP. Who's LVP?
That's a good question. I don't know. Did you have anybody in mind?
I didn't, but let me look at the board here.
Cordelia's not in it that much, but I love all her
She had a
stuff.
couple good moments. Like her scene with Lila was good, and like her scenes with Angel are good. So I don't feel comfortable giving it to her either. Like,
I'll go one of the cab guys, one of the two guys
oh,
talking.
those assholes.
I think I'll go like the second guy.
You know who I'll go with? We meet like Billy's dad, who's like a congressman. I kind of
Yeah,
wish he was like a more memorable role.
that's fair. Yeah, he should be like the mayor
Yeah, he was sort
in
of
Buffy.
nobody. Yeah. So I'll go with him for my LVP.
I agree with that. That's a good call. He should be bigger than he is.